This is John Paul Ryan. I'm coming to you from Tokyo, Japan. I want to cover the story here by the Daily Mail about Meghan Markle. And I want to say one thing real quick. A lot of people question, well, why do you cover these tabloids? I'm not looking at this as information to learn about what's going on. I'm looking at this to see the drama between Meghan and the Daily Mail, because they have a battle going on, and I'm looking at the side of the Daily Mail. I'm not really using this to get my facts and information. Also, a lot of people call the Daily Mail mainstream media. Well, if that's true, I'm not sure why this article here would only have 318 shares. That's not a lot. I've gotten almost 1,000 shares on videos. I mean, granted, this isn't very old, but even in the first 24 hours, I've gotten hundreds of shares. So, if the Daily Mail was this huge mainstream media, I think they'd have a little bit more shares and views on the article than they do. So what I'm saying is, they're probably not as big as people imagine them to be. I could be wrong, but based on 318 shares, I think that's probably something like, I'm going to guess 15,000 views, at least on this online, format. Now YouTube's different. It could be different, but I think essentially it's on the internet, so it's probably similar. That was about the longest intro ever, so let's get into it. Harry and Meghan biography Finding Freedom can be used as evidence against her in privacy battle with Associated Newspapers. Judge rules after court heard she or her friends cooperated with authors, so they will be able to use this against her, which is not good for Meghan. Meghan Markle today lost her court fight to block claims that she cooperated with the authors of an explosive book about her private life or allowed her friends to. The Duchess, who is 39, is accused of feeding personal information to the writers of Finding Freedom to set out her own version of events in a way that is favorable to her. The High Court ruling by Judge Francesca K means that the book will now feature as evidence in Meghan's high-stakes privacy battle against Associated Newspapers, the publishers of the Mail on Sunday and Mail Online. It also means that she could be questioned under oath about her involvement with the book, which tells the story about her life with the Duke of Sussex, and she can also be questioned about, almost anything basically. She's going to be on the stand. So what someone was saying before was that this is the Streisand effect, where she's accusing them of something and she's out to prove that they wronged her, but she's also putting herself out in public in a format where she's got to answer because she's in court. So it could get interesting on what she says or what she has to say. So here they explain basically, what's going on, which they do every article. Meghan is suing the Mail on Sunday for publishing in February 2019 extracts of a letter she wrote to her estranged father, Thomas Markle. She claimed that it breached her deepest and most private thoughts and feelings and that she had not given permission for the letter to be made public. Finding Freedom, which the newspaper argues she collaborated with the authors on, was published in August, weeks after lawyers for the newspaper had submitted its defense. Last week, in a pre-trial hearing, the Publishers Associated Newspapers asked the High Court for permission to include her alleged cooperation in Finding Freedom as part of their defense when the trial starts on January 11th. So it says up here that she's spending a ton of money on the court case, which is one of the reasons that the royal family does not like her, I think. They don't want her getting involved in this drama, this bullshit. They just want her to probably be a quiet, private person, and although she claims that's what she wants, it doesn't seem like that's what she wants. When she's putting out videos about political, cringy stuff, it doesn't seem like she wants to be private. So she's going to have a hard time proving she wants to be private when she's doing interviews, releasing videos, saying public things in court. It just doesn't make sense. She contradicts herself, which is, pretty much what the lawyers against her say. Lawyers for the newspaper claimed it was difficult to see how Meghan could complain about extracts of her letter to her estranged father being published when she and Harry had helped with Finding Freedom, which exposed their private thoughts and feelings. So their claim is that Meghan did help on the book. So they also mention here she was refused an appeal, but her lawyers could still pursue an appeal to the Court of Appeal. And of course, Meghan's lawyers, without getting too complicated, said no, she did not collaborate on this book. So it's a pretty cut and dry case. It's either she did or she didn't, and I guess it's going to be word versus word in quite a few cases. She's got 5 friends who are going to speak up about it. I am not sure if they have or haven't. That information slipped me, but if I recall, I think it's possible that, like Amber Heard, her own friends are going to testify against her. I got to get a fact check on that one though. We'll get back to you. The High Court ruling also means that Mr. Scooby will also be asked to give evidence in the case after he submitted a statement maintaining that Meghan did not cooperate in the writing of the book. So to be clear, this guy Scooby is against her. He's going to be a main player in this case. Here's her father. I know nothing about him. Negative, positive, or anything. Well, aside from the fact that he raised Meghan Markle and she didn't come out quite so honest and good-hearted. But that might not be his fault. I don't know. Anyway, you guys let me know what you think down below. Looks like this case is going to be pretty interesting. Looks like she's going to be on the stand and, she's going to have to say some things she probably doesn't want to say. Maybe about Harry, maybe about the royals, maybe about something that she just did not want getting out. And I think there's going to be some people probably pretty pissed at her. You guys, of course, let me know what you think down below. Doing shout-outs, special thanks, things like that. Want to get into her more. There was a whole pregnancy hoax, pregnancy conspiracy thing. I just haven't had time to get into it. I will. I've been through 5 pregnancies pretty much in my immediate family, so I'm no stranger. I won't just be speculating as some single guy who doesn't have any idea. So, at some point I will get to that. Until then, click that subscribe button. I'm doing shoutouts, special thanks, things like that. If you don't subscribe, I'll be pretty sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.